Hi there.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, good.
No one else is here yet.
I am.
Well, how is everybody? Oh, Lynn is there. No picture, but
No picture?
no.
There might not today.
Oh, it's one of those days. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I have everybody. And Margie, good. Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Margie, you're muted, just so you know. There
Good
you
job.
go. Okay. Joanne is unable to be here today, and Maggie's away for a few months.
Oh, that's right.
So she's off in Spain or Portugal. One of those. Anyway. All right. Ready to go?
Ready.
All right. So I need a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone taking minutes or do I need to do it?
No, I'm taking them.
Oh, thank
You
you.
are. Thank you. All right, so
Uh,
they
Who's
passed.
who's here? Kathy, you're here.
I am sort of.
When-
We have no heat.
What?
It's a little brisk. So no, they're here fixing it. It's all good. All
Oh,
good.
just come here. Who else is here besides Lynn, Millie, you and me?
Jill?
Hello, Joe.
Jill's on mute, so she's not going to hear you.
Okay,
Mark, Bernadette, and Katie.
thank you.
Sorry about
There you
that,
are,
everyone.
Jill. Good to see you, Jill.
I know, I feel like it's been a while.
It has
It
been.
has. It has. Okay, Bernadette, you're up.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Bernadette.
Hi. So update on the senior center. Things are really looking up. People are really starting to come back. So we have line dancing starting in April, exercise classes 3 days a week with Clancy Hit and Fit. They're out of Coventry. They're a family-owned business. We have them coming here. So just a lot of different programs coming in. We have our tag sale coming up on April 15th. So people can drop off any tag sale items from, let's see, it's April 4th. Yep, April 5th, actually. Through the 14th, they can drop off anything for the tag sale. And we're looking for bakers. So if anybody wants to bake. And our transportation program is always busy. We're booked solid. It's hard to keep up with it all. So we've been doing a lot of referring out to Dial a Ride, and they've been taking on some of our rides, as well as Lebanon. For example, I believe it's today that they're picking up one of our seniors for us and taking them to a medical appointment. We were unable to do it. So where in the past we've taken someone from Lebanon somewhere. So it's been really great working with her. So and that's about it for me.
Well, I'm going to just interject as you're talking about that. I got to do the medical ride
Yes, right. How was your experience?
for the first time. It was great.
Yeah. Who was your driver? Rose?
No.
Oh, it was Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was delightful. And she had a new way to get there. I said, "Oh, you want to go the back route?" She said, "Oh, a new way."
Oh yeah, she's always.
I said it's actually shorter. So and we just chatted, and she was lovely, and she absolutely loves driving.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
So what a find for the two of them.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. So that was, it was a great service, because for the first time I was having a little trouble getting a ride, getting to a medical thing because I'm the Uber driver. So it worked out great. I drop off and then Margie picked me up and all was good. So life is good. So
Excellent.
thank you. Thank you.
You're
I said, oh, the first time I get to use it. Great. Any questions for Bernadette, anybody? No, sounds like busy, busy, busy.
Mhm.
Okay, we're on the shoveling and plowing initiative. Some of you went to the meeting, the Board of Selectmen meeting, and they seemed confused as to why we were there. Because they just didn't think that they really needed to act on it particularly, but it was good. It was good that they asked some questions. I had put together just a one sheet bulletin of why, who, where, how it works, blah, 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 easy peasy. And there was one person that was considered worried about liability. And then another of the board members reassured them, no, this is how it works, yada, yada, yada. And then they said, okay, go for it. So we are able to do that. I did post it in Facebook. I had one person reach out to me to make a donation. So that will be coming, I know for sure. And I was wondering if some of you who are connected with churches and or synagogue in town, if you would like to maybe send them a letter or talk to them on your church boards or synagogue boards about contributing as civic members. I don't know how you feel about that, but I thought the more people we reach out to. The other one that Ed had suggested yesterday, and I'll approach him, is Certified Auto. Sometimes they have at their front desks, people can leave loose change or whatever in there. And I was thinking about just if anybody wants to make a donation, if he'll just have something on his counter and I'll go down and collect it and bring it to the town hall. I just figure whatever donations we can get would be a great thing. And if you have any other ideas, jump in.
Great.
Anybody else you think we should ask to participate specifically?
Well, it's going into the Columbia News, the newsletter, right? The one that we get at quarterly.
Yeah, Mark, can you do that? Put that in there?
You have to unmute yourself.
Can't hear you at all. Mark, it's not coming through for some reason.
Bad mic.
Doesn't show that he's muted.
It's weird.
Let me send him a message.
Okay.
The other option is wait until.
How
the
about now?
summer.
Ah,
There.
Here we are.
I don't know what was going on.
You look so handsome this morning.
Oh, well,
Always.
I'm getting ready for 5-pack tonight. It's
Ah, lucky
budget
you.
season,
Hey.
so it'll be a long meeting.
Yeah. Oof.
What I'd like to do, because Katie and Bernadette have been talking about this program, we almost have the contract all set through Kerma, our insurance company, to actually name the town as not liable for any damage caused by the plow or shoveling. So that's almost done. And we have the vendors that you identified, Kathy, that we'll reach out to and ask them if they're interested in, and asking them too, how they'd want to price the program. Because do they want to actually go to the household and look at it? Or do they want to come up with a standard, this is for a driveway and this is for a sidewalk, flat fee? So we'll talk to them. And then I think we also have to agree, we want a standardized qualification based on income. And right now, probably the easiest way to do it would be to use the same criteria that are identified through our property tax abatement program for the elderly.
I think that's too low. I think
So-
it's too low.
If it's too low, I need to know what you want it to be.
Katie, what's the bottom line for the fuel assistance? It's higher, right?
It's 60% of the state median income. Like so for a household of one, it's 39,761.
Is that higher or lower than the?
It's just a tiny
circuit
bit
breaker?
lower. So for property taxes, I think it's like 40,000. Let me see.
And for a couple, it's 49
For the taxes?
for a tax
For
abatement.
like property tax relief.
You're the one that are dealing with people that are in need more than, I mean, we don't have that information, Katie. What do you think is a fair amount? You know, if we were to do, because it just seems like the circuit breaker, it's that gray area in between, that there are people that don't quite qualify for that, but really it's a hardship for them for the plowing and shoveling.
Mhm.
So do you have a ballpark figure of what that would be?
For like need wise,
Yeah.
I mean, you could go to like, I think if you looked at like 100% of the state, Connecticut state medium income, I think that's like over 50,000.
Excuse me, the people, I've got to go for 1 second. Let me just.
Sure.
And
Keep going, Katie. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, so if you looked at like Connecticut, I think that's like quite a bit over 50,000.
okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm going to mute myself.
And I think it's hard for me to kind of comment on like who needs it income wise. I mean, I would be happy to give everyone a credit. Because you could look at, just in talking to some people, like they might have assets, which I don't necessarily think should be counted, but like that could be another factor that some programs consider, I guess. I think one of the thoughts of using like an already established guideline is then it just makes it easier to do outreach to people, and can make the process to get people qualified a little bit quicker. Otherwise, it's people bringing in proof of their income. So it's getting their documents together, which is okay. You know, if someone really wants to apply to a program, that would be okay with me. I think it's just a little less user friendly.
Can I hop in real quick?
Yeah.
I was thinking if we just pick a income guideline and we stick to it, and then say someone is over the income guideline, but only by a little bit, and we understand maybe between my 13 years here would know a little bit about them and their background, and we can make a decision from there between the two of us, maybe a member from the Commission on Aging to say, hey, what do you want to do? Or with Mark, do you want to make the exception here? Because it's definitely needed. And just go from there, but we don't really say that so much, but just stick out the income guideline. This is the max that you can, and then if they do go over, then we can have a discussion about it, whether we approve it or not. Does that sound fair? We just pick a guideline, like whether it's property tax or
Right.
just pick one.
That sounds good.
And I think if we have an extremely bad winter, I can see that coming into play more than if it's just like this year, we only had one plow.
Katie, do you have a number for the number of people that are on heating assistance? Is it?
For seniors, I'm not sure off the top of my head. I can request that. I can request that and get that from Access.
Yeah. And how about the tax abatement that we do we know how many people are in that program?
I can ask the assessor's office to see if we can cipher out, I mean, because I guess the other thing maybe just to talk about is this for 65 and older? The tax program is disabled or 65 and older. So yeah, I could see if they could help me figure that out.
I think it needs to be for disabled and 65 and older.
I would agree.
I mean, the other thing we looked at was using the Meals on Wheels list of people. So that might be like a dozen or so. You know, that was kind of just another thought. And I think, you know, situations there or scenarios there are things like, well, a family member helped pay. You know, does that mean that person should qualify for this program, or do you let that family continue to pay? So just to make sure like we're on the same page with your intentions for the program, I think that's one thing that I just would have to get clarified. And, you know, knowing that people are going to be reaching out to me, I really want to be sure I'm giving them the right information on who qualifies or not.
Is there a guideline? There's no guideline for Meals on Wheels, is there?
I think it's just like, actually Bernadette might know better than me, but I think it's like a suggested donation.
Yeah.
Pay.
But there's no income guideline for Meals on Wheels.
There is not.
No.
So,
No. Right.
So what are the guidelines for Meals on Wheels if it's not income based?
Probably need.
It is just based by need. Yes, if they don't have any other means to
Yeah.
provide from, that they're homebound is basically what it is they're homebound.
Well, that would come under disabled then mostly, wouldn't it?
Yes,
Not
that is,
necessarily.
you know, that's that gray line.
Which would qualify them anyhow, though. If they're homebound, they must be homebound for whatever the reason.
But they could be homebound for medical reasons, but like they can't drive, or maybe they don't have a car. And they're not necessarily qualified disabled.
Right, could be temporary, because it does take a while to get disabled.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I know.
So in giving Katie some guidelines, let's get some concrete, because she's brought up some issues that she would feel comfortable with or not. So how about if we some input, what do you feel about the using the circuit breaker monetary guidelines, but give exceptions if they deem it necessary? You know, if it's appropriate for them to be shoveled, that between Katie and Bernadette and Mark, if they want to include him in that. I just think that you have a better handle on it, Katie and Bernadette, and you know who needs the help. And it just is common sense to me that that's the case, but how do the rest of you feel?
It's fine with me.
I agree.
I agree.
Absolutely.
So Katie, does that answer you?
Yeah, so putting out like that income guideline to see if people are interested, and then if they're not on the homeowners tax relief program, they can, you know, show what their income is. Disabled, I mean, I know some programs use social security proof of disability, but if it's something, they have from their doctor that says they're
Yeah.
disabled, I mean, that could work. And then if they have a special circumstance, they wanna bring
Sometimes people
forward.
also have short-term disability too.
Yeah.
They don't have to be on for forever. It could be somebody who's unable to work due to broken bones or a car accident or whatever.
It
You know,
could be a
it's
knee
good.
replacement and you
Yeah.
can't run a snow blower for a few months and
They do try though.
Mm.
So Katie and Bernadette, are you comfortable doing that? Doing that exception,
I'm okay with that.
Katie?
I think we can make it work.
Katie, I think you and I can afterwards just, fine tune it.
Okay,
So it works, so we know what we're doing.
okay, yeah.
and then
Okay,
basically we'll use this time to start fundraising so we have a bigger fund for
Right.
next year.
Right,
Okay.
that's the intention. So if we can, do we need a motion for that, to run it that way?
I would, say yes.
Doesn't
Because
hurt to do it.
it's funds. So anybody want to make a motion about that?
So I make a motion, I'm assuming I understand this. I make a motion that the guidelines used for the shoveling and plowing initiative be the guidelines used for, is it tax abatement? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, isn't it tax abatement?
Or circuit breaker, what do you refer to it? What's it
Oh.
called?
I'm not sure what they call it.
Like the elderly and disabled homeowners tax relief.
Oh, forget
Tax
that.
relief.
Thank you.
Tell me again what it is.
Tax relief,
Yeah, tax relief.
Homeowners tax relief.
homeowners
that's
tax
good.
relief.
Thank
with,
you.
The director of the senior center and our social service coordinator, given some flexibility in deeming,
Assessing need.
yes, sounds good.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed, discussion, none of that. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. So we pass that. Oh, we needed a second, sorry.
second,
Okay, Lynn, second that. Okay, then we officially vote. And then we're good, okay?
Aye.
Everybody's good. All right. Phew, I'm exhausted.
Did we have to add anything in there about the fundraising part of this or just the guidelines? Just
I
the
think
guidelines?
just the guidelines. I
Okay.
think just the guidelines.
Gotcha.
And then, Mark and Bernadette, can you put in something like I had put in the Everything Columbia page explaining the program and who they should send the money to?
Kathy, can you send whatever I didn't see what was
Sure,
in everything
sure.
coming. Send that to my office.
Yeah,
And then I'll
Bernadette, would
work
you
with,
like me to do that for you too?
Please, yes,
Sure.
that would be great.
great.
And is it okay that we ask businesses to do that as far as putting out, a can or whatever for funds for people to contribute in that way?
I'd
Is
say
everybody okay with
All
that?
that could happen is they say no. So give it a
Yeah,
whirl.
but I mean, there's no reason not to ask, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. So does anybody have any businesses there would like to try that with? Anybody? How about if you think about it, let me
Yeah.
know and I'll put together something. If we have 10, I'll put 10 things together and drop them off. So just
What if,
give me,
I have a question or a suggestion, like
Sure.
Columbia manufacturing. Is there maybe something like an envelope that we could send around there or that we could leave there that maybe the employees might want to contribute to for this fund?
well, I was
Or
wondering if we
company?
shouldn't send out letters to the actual business owners and see if they would like to
They
contribute.
would like to contribute. Okay.
We don't have that many businesses in
Right.
Columbia that it would take that much of an effort.
Well, how about if everybody puts together some thoughts and send me businesses that you think we should ask? And I'll put a letter together and we'll send them out, see what happens. I mean, I was just so thrilled with the Lions. That was a big chunk.
Maine
A great
Moose
way
is,
to start.
Oh, yeah,
Maine
maybe
Moose is
Moose.
ready to open.
That would be a
Ah.
great place to put a
Yeah.
can.
That would be. And how about the tag sale? Can we do like a fundraising kind of thing at the tag sale?
I
So
don't
maybe
see
do,
why not.
like 50 cents a ticket, do a giant tree of lottery tickets or whatever sells really well.
What do you think about that?
Absolutely.
Will that take away from the seniors? Would they be upset about doing that, us doing that?
No, not at all.
Yeah, plus
think
it's
so.
going to help the seniors,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just
ultimately
another
it does.
revenue avenue.
Mhm.
So how do we want to do this? Because that's coming up before we have another meeting.
So
To
we'd
do
have
a-
to, we would have to decide what we're going to be doing using as our, whatever they're gonna be buying tickets for. So what sells the best? What is the biggest draw for people? So you don't want to overdo them. You want to put in money, whether it's change, whether it's $1, whatever it is, it's something easily they can reach into their pockets and take out and give you. And yet it's at the same time, it's something that they all want to do. And usually I'll be the first one to tell you, the chance to win more money is really big for all people. We do fundraisers here all the time. That is our biggest draw. Is doing like a lottery tree. And what I mean lottery tree, it just means something that, looks kind of fun, but it has all kinds of scratch lottery tickets on it.
So
Okay,
so they buy a ticket. And when the ticket is drawn, it's for the whole tree.
Yes,
Well, we have money left in the budget, right? $300 in our budget.
yep.
Maybe we could make it a prize of $50. I mean, $1 or $2 to win 50.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can
do
we
you need-
use, can we use our funds for that?
I thought we put our funds into the plowing.
Just
No, we
300.
put 300, we put in half,
Okay, you still have half left?
yeah. Is that something that is permissible to
Yeah.
do with those funds?
Or is that considered gambling and you need a license?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Realistically, you have to go through the state for any,
Yeah. I thought.
Any raffles, right?
yeah, you almost, to do that, you'd almost have to have someone donate the prize money and keep it out of the town coffers.
Yeah.
oh, so if the tickets are donated,
Right,
then there's nothing that anybody can do about it, right?
yeah, just keep it real low key.
Okay,
I don't see
So-
that as
so the committee.
it's not a major,
as-
it's not a major
as-
fundraiser.
Right, as separate people, we could all do donate 5 tickets,
Sure,
right?
Right.
And then we'd keep it out of ever having to do that.
Is everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
just
All
get them
right.
to Bernadette.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just make, okay.
Good.
So we each are gonna get the tickets, 5 tickets.
Yep,
whether
5
they're
scratch tickets, any way you want to do, whatever kind you want to do, but 5 scratch tickets.
Okay. So we're each
Okay.
Wait a minute.
donating that.
Wait a minute. I never do are you talking lottery tickets like you get at a gas station?
Or
Yeah.
a package store. Make it
Tickets,
more
yeah.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah, just the scratch tickets, okay?
And
Okay.
is this, does the scratch ticket cost $1?
They
Some
cost,
of
they
them
are
are
different
two.
amounts. They go
$1,
from anywhere
$5,
from $1 to
$20, whatever you want.
$20. So it's what you want to do, but it's got to be 5 tickets. Whatever you want to do, you can do 5
Oh,
$1 tickets.
gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
and who's gonna put this together? I don't have any idea of what you're even visually.
When is the tag sale? What day
It's
is
the
it on?
15th. It's Saturday, the 15th of April.
That's
I'll
the
do
day
that. I'll put it together.
Oh, good,
Okay.
okay. That's the day of in East Hampton.
That's from 1 to 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, the housing thing in East Hampton.
Yeah. But Jill, you'll put that together. So if we get the tickets to Bernadette by when?
So I'm actually not going to be at the tag sale. It's the.
No,
Columbia-
no, Jill will put this together ahead of time, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if we have the tickets to you, so Jill can get them from you to put it together,
Oh,
when
yeah.
would you need them by, Jill?
You know, 3 or 4 days ahead of time, it doesn't matter. Just give them, if you just get the tickets to Bernadette,
Right,
just, I can grab them from her and just, you know, I mean. she's
but I
just-
thought if you had them by a certain date, so we make sure you have. them by
Yeah,
the time you need them.
let's see, I will be back April. If I can have them by the 10th or 11th, that would be great.
Okay, everybody on that? Okay,
But does someone need to be there to
Yes,
purchase? Yes, to take people's money and give them the tickets.
do
right.
we have raffle tickets, by the way?
It's,
Um,
isn't it a winner take all?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're throwing your name, you're making a donation and filling out a
Ticket,
ticket. So
We-
someone will win the tree or
We
whatever.
need them printed. Don't we need those printed? If we
Yeah.
don't
Or
have,
a
does
copier.
someone have a roll of tickets that we can use? Are there any at the senior center?
I
Why don't
believe,
you just put their name on a piece of paper that you make on a copier, cut it out and throw it in a shoebox? And
piece
yay.
of paper, telephone number, name, phone number.
Yeah, and done,
Right, keep it simple.
right?
No,
Yeah,
I
one
thought
and done.
if we already had them, it would be really simple. Because on the back of the tickets,
Yeah,
there's
you
a
put
place
your
for your name and phone number.
I can, I'll take a peek and see what the CSO has left. Last I knew there was plenty, but I just want to double check.
Okay,
Okay,
Okay.
that would be.
How
that
much
would
are we
because
charging
they're-
per ticket?
What do you think?
$1?
$1.
I say $1. You keep
Okay.
it small, people will definitely be putting in, so.
$1 per, yes?
Yes,
sounds good.
Okay,
Okay,
I can't be there to help because our church breakfast is the 15th.
Vern, what time does the tag sale run from?
9 to 2.
9 to 2? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't get some, be there on the 15th and get some help too. Okay,
I'll
Great,
go,
great.
I'll go in the morning for, be there at 9 for,
what time you wanna go and then I'll go in the afternoon. You tell me what time you wanna go to.
I can't sit for a long time. That's the issue. So even if I go for,
9 to 11,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
is that
I'm-
okay?
I'm going to
And-
be on vacation or I'd go, but I'm not going to be here that week.
I'll be
Can I go
back
with
by
you?
then, so.
I'm doing the housing thing. So,
Well, I'm gonna do that too. That's at 1.
Yeah,
Okay, so 2, that's gonna be 4:15. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll take care of that.
well, if you get stuck, let me know. I'll throw out my grandchildren.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Okay, thank you. So that'll be a good
Thank you.
source too. So now we're down to, you're gonna send me names of businesses you think we should send a letter to, who might be able to put up a donation cup, and now we have the basket, the raffle basket. And Mark and Bernadette, I'm gonna send you the information just to stick in the gem and then the town newsletter, so you've got that, okay?
Right.
Got it.
Okay. All right, so we're on to housing, the article that Maggie sent. I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you had a chance to read it.
I was just gonna add one thing about the snow removal, and I think like as the months progress and your outreach efforts continue, you'll have a good gauge on how much money comes into the fund, but since weather is so variable, just to have in, my ask is just have in the back of your heads how to handle if, maybe this won't even happen, but if funds ran out, how we wanna just tell people. I mean,
Once they're gone, they're gone.
okay,
That's all we can tell them.
so it's kind of
Okay.
like people have to agree that they're also signing that there's no liability for the town or the snow removal places. They have to be willing to share their income or situation, and that it's, you know, just because they get it plowed 1 month doesn't mean it's going to happen the next time.
No, I
That's
think it has to be emphasized that it's a pilot program. And funds are limited.
Mhm, mhm.
You know, it would be great if it kept going and we were able to keep funding and people wanted to keep contributing. And I'm guessing towards the holidays, I'll put out another plea when people are looking for charitable giving, or, you know, that's when people are feeling a little bit more generous,
I mean,
that we'll try and bolster it up, but it was very abundantly clear that this was not going to be town funded.
Very.
and I don't want to be, you know, negative about it. It's more, I just want to think through everything.
No,
So
it's-
when the time comes,
Yeah, no, people need to know, and you certainly don't want to be put in a tough position. So I think it's very clear, this is what we're trying to do. This is what the money is that we have. And I don't know if there's any kind of state funding or federal funding. And one of the things I was thinking that maybe we could reach out to Kathy Austin and find out if she knows of any programs, or if that, since she does all of the budgetary thing, that might be something they might want to consider for towns as a senior necessity. So, you know, I'll call her too. Okay.
and I
We'll
did
go-
ask, I have like a network of social workers throughout the state, and I did ask, you know, what other towns do. Because of course, this is an issue, you know, regardless of where you live. And it seems like towns that are actively trying to help with this, it's been volunteer groups, which, you know, we have the tasks program through AHM, but that's just, they don't do shoveling and snow removal. So I think that's just the only resource that has come to my attention. It's other towns might have a different protection for their volunteers who do snow removal, but
And I'm thinking some towns may use town employees, depending on situations, you know, I have no idea. But, you know, someone had said at the Board of Selectmen meeting, well, what about, you know, neighbors coming over and doing that? You know, that's what it used to be. And I said, well, that's what it used to be, but it's not that way anymore. So here's our reality. You know, that's not it anymore. So I think, I'm glad you reached out to see what other people are doing, Katie. But hopefully, maybe it'll be something that'll catch on with other towns. That would be great.
yeah, I think people were curious what we were gonna do. So,
Hey Kathy, can I throw something out?
Sure.
I just want to show everybody oh, I guess my background's blurring
There you
it.
Oh,
go.
there
Just
it
like
Right there.
is.
That's
Eh.
perfect.
That's
Great.
Oh, nice.
So we got the plaque.
Aw.
Looks
Um,
great.
How would you like to honor Edith Prey with the unveiling? Do you want to have the next Kona meeting at Rec Park, or do you want to?
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, I was thinking we could have a reporter come out and Kona could pop a towel off the bench. We could have it all mounted. Because the bench is at the park. It's
Great.
there, secured. We just we didn't have the plaque yet.
I think that would be a great idea.
Where is the bench?
It's right by the playground.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you
Good
go past the big playground, the two towers,
Yeah.
the bench is in between that and a little open play area. So
Perfect.
it's where a parent would sit and watch their children play on the playground.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
You tell me when you want and how you want to do this, and we'll make it happen.
Well, our next meeting is May, right?
Right.
So everybody okay with meeting at Rec Park?
Yeah.
Very good.
And then you could have your meeting at the
24th.
pavilion if you want.
Pavilion, sure.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see everybody
Yeah.
in person.
So what's that date, Kathy?
May 24th.
May 24th. So it'll be 9 o'clock at Rec Park, and we'll notify the Doyles.
Bring the coffee and donuts.
I'm gonna
Actually,
talk to her later this afternoon, so I can tell her.
you'll tell Joanne?
Yeah.
Okay, great, Margie. And we do have the kitchen there, so you could plug in a coffee maker if you want.
Oh, good. Then I'll bring the donuts.
Do we need to bring a coffee maker though, right?
I don't know what's there. I know for big events, we had the big urns, but I don't
We
think
don't
you
need
want to.
that.
You just
No,
want a
we
little
don't
coffee maker. I don't think we have a Mr. Coffee there.
We could pick up a box of Joe.
Yeah,
Right.
why don't we do that?
Yeah, that would probably be the easiest. We'll just pick up a box of Joe.
Okay,
Okay.
9 o'clock. So Margie, you're telling Joanne, so she knows, and I'll make sure the plaque is mounted and I'll call a reporter and ask if they want to get a shot of the
Be nice.
bench.
I'll pick up the coffee.
Great.
And I'll bring some fruit.
Oh, perfect.
Well, we,
I'm bringing the junk food.
I love that. I wish I could have it.
are we letting other people in the community know that that's going to happen there, just in case they wanted to be there?
We could post it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute, then are we gonna have enough food?
Oh, you're right. All of a sudden it becomes a,
yeah. Let's just save the food for our meeting.
Okay,
Good
There you go.
idea.
How's that sound?
that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to post it in Everything Columbia?
Sure.
Does
and
anybody
you-
want to do that part?
I could do that.
Okay,
Do you want to have the Kona meeting first and then the unveiling at the end of the meeting?
no, I think the unveiling first.
So have the unveiling at 9
Yeah,
and then
Yeah.
we'll adjourn to a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know what? I can post it on the Becker Senior Center Facebook page and then share it with Everything Columbia.
oh, that's
Good.
great.
That's great.
That's great. That's perfect.
That's good.
Okay,
Great.
okay, moving along. Anything else on that? Okay.
I think
How
we're
about the
good.
housing? We're back to housing that Maggie sent.
I didn't even see that.
I sent it and it was about attaching houses, senior housing, composting, senior housing things.
Project they're doing in Meriden, I think,
Yeah,
but they're super tiny.
yeah, they're really tiny.
Super,
Mm.
super tiny. I think one of them had 340 square feet of one bedroom, and another one had 480 square feet, which would be
Yep.
two bedrooms. And the 340 square feet, Paul told me, is the size of our family room. So it's like 17 by 20. It's interesting concept. I don't think it would fly in Columbia.
Here's the question though, what it raised for me was, what if you did the senior housing with the smaller 900 square foot to 1,000 square, can you do composting for bathrooms and water instead of sewers? Or septic tanks? I don't know. Is that something? I'm just thinking alternative because it seems to be, that's the issue for the senior housing is the septic. What about composting
Mhm.
that way? Has that been done anywhere for a larger apartment or housing of any kind?
The other thing is, then you go in and take the bags out when they're full, because that's what Jonah uses. They have the composting toilets, and I had talked to him about how you use, because he's got the new kind. And it's when the bag is full. That's, you just take that out. So in a senior situation, who's gonna do that?
Yeah.
Well, if it's someone that's building the stuff, they pay someone to come and do snow removal and lawn mowing.
Yeah, true.
So it would just be another part of, I would think, if they can do that. And if Jonah's doing it with a house of 4, is that
Where's Jonah live?
Vermont?
Yeah, there's probably no health district overseeing what goes on, meaning, I'm sure it works fine, but our health districts, I don't
Yeah.
think I don't know. I'd have to ask them if we've ever allowed a composting toilet in our health district, because they determine requirements for septic. The
I
Could
bet
you
health
find that
district-
out for us, Mark?
Yeah,
And see if that's another possibility. We're dead in the water here with the housing. We've got to come up with something.
All right, I'll look into that.
As a possibility.
Mark, where is planning and zoning in the town with affordable housing?
We have a affordable housing write-up that they have done, but it's all how you define affordable, because here you can't really get affordable because we don't have sewer and septic, sewer and public water. So you can't create density. But the state is going to be requiring it.
Yeah.
We're just pushing back on, will the state allow alternative septic systems? And will they define them in advance so that we would know what we could and could not build? Because right now, the state is looking at that planning and zoning is stifling affordable housing with their regulations. But the reality is, in the rural sections of the state, it's the health districts that are in charge of what we can build.
So
So
is
I-
there a time constraint that you have with that?
Well, they haven't, I haven't seen legislation. I know they're debating it right now. It didn't pass last session, but it's being debated this session. So I'll see what the new regulations are and I'll report to Kona, because they should be voting on those soon.
Mark, aren't there a lot of towns that are going through this?
Yeah, the whole state.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there must be a lot of support for the idea of them changing their regulations.
Well, the problem is that the septic systems are defined right now in the health code as to how much land you need and how much perking, the water table, all those scientific definitions are done. What DEP, and we've been trying to have funds from, there's a water fund that is used to fix sewer systems. We would like those funds to also be available to rural areas to define alternative septic codes. Because right now, the DEP won't define an acceptable alternative septic system. Right now, if you look at Dartmouth Village,
Mhm.
they can't get approval. They need an alternative septic system. They have to build one like at our school, which is an elevated raised system above the ground, like we had to do at Porter. Can't get approval, but they have a $500,000 grant to put this system in. So it's bureaucracy that is the problem. But the state thinks the rural towns, the problem is that we don't want density development. So we're trying to get the legislators to understand our issues. And we're working through CCM on that right now, which is our lobbyist group.
Seems to me we've had this issue for years. It's just been
Forever.
going on and on and on and on.
Right.
But
And right
Mark,
now, affordable housing is really about, all we have is you can put a granny pod on your house and
Yeah.
invite your relatives to live in the granny pod. I think that's what they're calling them.
With no septic? with no toilet?
Right, I think that would tie into your own.
Your own
system,
septic system.
Right.
Mark, does our planning and zoning, do we still have that cluster housing that they used when they did Wickford? And when they did 3/4 of Island Woods? Or has that been eliminated and now we can only do 2-acre zoning?
Well, no, it's not 2 acres everywhere. There's smaller zoning in Columbia than 2 acres.
Okay,
I think there's 1 acre as well, and why don't I invite, actually, I have a meeting with our town planner in 5 minutes. I'll see if he would like to speak at Kona. Maybe he could bring to light where we are on all these issues. Why don't you make that my challenge for May?
Okay,
great.
okay, so I'll put him down on our agenda.
And I'll see if he's available. He might not be, I know he comes out here, I think he's here on Tuesday and Thursday, so it might be a problem in May, but let me find out. I'll ask
Well,
him.
May is going to be the one at Rec Park.
Right, so that won't be a Zoom meeting. But let me ask him.
Okay, thank you.
And worst case, he could prepare me to give you all an update on where we are legislatively with affordable housing.
Okay, thank
And where
you.
we are with our affordable housing regulations for Columbia.
Great.
Okay,
Okay, I'm going on to new business. It's going to be quick from my perspective. The only things I wanted to add it was make sure everybody was aware of the 4 workshops at Colebrook Village. If you wanted to go, I sent that information. I'm going to all but the September one, so I will collect some information. And then the Route 66 meetings, excuse me. I know some of you may have signed up to go to those. I think that's going to be a worthwhile one, especially as they're getting started to reform. And I know they're going to be looking for places to volunteer to host. So I was thinking our November meeting, which is November 15th. Maybe we would like to host the Route 66 group, and we'll need to find a topic and bring somebody in that might be interesting, and make sure that the Beckish Center is available. But like we did the last time, we did refreshments and we had stuff to give them, you know, notebooks and all that stuff, little pads and paper and pens and all that stuff. So how do you feel about November 15th hosting? If it's what, I don't know how often they're going to even want to meet, but I thought it'd be nice to have a date ahead of time. If
Sounds
everybody's
good.
that's
Good, yeah.
agreeable. Okay. All right, any other new business? Bernadette, you're muted.
I'm
Oh, there you
muted.
go.
Talking and so November, I'm looking at the calendar right now. It's a Wednesday. Wednesdays can be quite busy in the afternoon here with bridge and lunch. In my morning, I have exercise and then ping pong. So
Okay, so what's a better day in November?
and Kath, I'm gonna have to jump off for
Yeah,
another
thank
meeting.
you,
I'll let
Mark.
you guys all wrap up. I'm
Thanks,
just gonna
Mark.
put you on.
Thursday, the 9th of November.
Is that okay with everybody? As a tentative date?
Yes.
And then we'll still keep our meeting on the 15th?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, can you pencil us in, Bernadette?
You bet.
Okay. Anything else from anybody?
I was just gonna just give a couple general updates. Just putting out information on Medicare Savings Program with updated guidelines as of March. Bernadette's gonna send that out in the GEM. Homeowners Tax Relief Program, which we've talked about, that's taking applications now. Part of the Energy Assistance Program for oil customers closed out last week, so just was getting people's last orders in, but they're still taking applications for electric heaters, gas heaters, Operation Fuel. People might have heard that program paused temporarily because they've just been hit with so many applications. I think they'll start up again in April. And then Eversource, it looked like put something out about trying to do a credit for people in a higher income bracket. Of course, it's not very detailed out, trying to get through to them. So I don't have information on that yet. But maybe there's something there because that's been a big ask. You know, people who maybe don't usually apply for programs or don't need to, you know, managing their electric bill has been hard. So there'll be more clarity with
I
that.
think, Katie, you can do that one online for Eversource, if people have access to be able to do it. I do know of some folks that have tried to do it
Right.
online. They didn't end up qualifying. They said
For-
it's, you know, for the Eversource, sorry.
Is that the new like 500, there's like a $500 credit thing that I think is supposed to be through, you know, what the governor passed in the fall. Is that what you're talking about? Like if you're over?
No,
Okay.
yeah, no, I was just talking about the regular, when they first upped their rates, them going for, you know, the energy assistance relief per se.
Yeah. And it's good that I think online is really good for some people and it's good that they have that, but yeah. Trying to figure that out. And then Vernon is hosting, maybe you've heard of this before, like a seniorhood resource fair. I think they've done it in the past in October, but they're just organizing that now. And they have it open to all of Talent County. So they had reached out and you know, so we're in touch with them to see how we can add to that too. If, you know, Vernon isn't super close, but technically they're part of our same county. So that's kind of in the distance too.
Sorry. Any other questions for Katie? I was listening, no? Okay, and Katie and Bernadette, thank you for making sure you're at these meetings. It's really helpful
Oh, good.
for us. Okay, need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Okay. All in favor? It's 10 o'clock, okay. All righty. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you at Rec Park.
Okay, sounds
Bye.
good.
Happy
Bye, everybody. Have a
holidays.
great day.
Happy holidays.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, happy holiday.
Bye-bye.